Now, a little word of warning to all you single guys. The next time you develop a crush on a beautiful blonde girl, be very, very careful, because although she could be very pretty, she could also be very, very poisonous, a real case of poison ivy, as is the case with the blonde girl in this movie. Hi guys, welcome to another video. Hope you're all keeping well. Now in this video I'd just like to review a cracking little movie I watched last night from 1968, and that movie is called Pretty Poison. Now this movie stars Anthony Perkins and Tuesday Weld, and it's a real good thriller and that, I'd say it's almost as good as Psycho. Anthony Perkins made this a few years after Psycho and that, but although he plays a similar character, to Norman Bates, but it's very, very different in other respects, but anyway, if you're not familiar with this movie, I'll just read you the blurb at the back, then talk a little bit more about the movie, and what I'm giving me thoughts on it. So, what brought a nice kid like Sue-Ann to a shocking moment like this? Newly released from a mental institution, arsonist Dennis Piss, played by Anthony Perkins, seeks a new life for himself in a charming Massachusetts town. And when he meets Sue-Ann Stepanek, played by Tuesday Weld, a beautiful all-American cheerleader, he decides to impress her by posing as a CIA agent. His false persona is seductive to Sue-Ann, and in fact her innocence begins to fade as she becomes more and more enthralled with Pitt's tales of violence. Ultimately, the cheerleader and the ex-convict become a duo capable of doing anything to get what they want, even murder. In this exciting psychological drama with exceptional acting and an explosive ending you will not want to miss. So there you go, guys. That's the blurb. All about Pretty Poison. And a very, very, very fine movie it is too, guys. I was completely hooked from start to finish in that. Because Anthony Perkins, again, in his usual consummate style, he plays this character. He's a kind of like a Billy Liar character. He's sort of he meets this beautiful blonde girl. Played by Tuesday Weld. She's a cheerleader, and it's love at first sight. Because as soon as he sees her, he falls madly in love with her, and she is gorgeous. She's got this long blonde hair and that. And she's really she is a really nice looking girl. And he falls in love with her and that. And of course the relationship develops from there. It's nice and sweet affair. I mean, I don't want to give away too much, but it's nice and sweet and all goody affairs. But then gradually things start to take a dark turn, And then you've got the subplot of Anthony Perkins with his boss and that, he works for this factory and that, and he has trouble with his boss and that, and he gets to sack Anthony Perkins, and he's bitter, so he's sort of he gets the girl to help him to exact a kind of a revenge on the company and that. He's really convincing to the girl, when he dreams up all these fanciful stories about him being with the CIA and all that, and agents and that, chase him and that, and the girl falls for it and that, she sort of she really gets sort of dragged in and that, she really goes along with him and that, but Anthony Perkins, he's really on the money in this role, as this character and that, and then you've got his probation officer keeping an eye on him and that, to sort of make sure he doesn't step out of line and that, haven't been released and that. He's sort of for the arson crime, what he done and that, So you've got his probation officer keeping an eye on him and telling him, if you step out of line, you'll be back inside and that, So he's got him watching him, and then he's got his, he's absolutely mad on the girl, the blonde girl, Tuesday Weld and that, and and he's sort of and then you've got another subplot involving Tuesday Weld's mother, because she's sort of like, she's a little bit, what's her name, with Tuesday Weld. She's very strict and very domineering in that, you know. She's always asking her, well, where are you going and that, who are you seeing, and this gets under Tuesday Weld's skin, and she starts confiding in Anthony Perkins and that, you know. She says, like, you know, she's got a bit of a, what's the name, of home and that, you know, at home with her mother and that, you know, we're dictating to her, demanding, like, you know, where she's going. And of course Anthony Perkins, like, she introduces Anthony Perkins to her mother, you know, and let's just say it doesn't really go very well, guys, because her mother's very wary of the new boyfriend and that, and it's sort of like, so you've got the subplot there, but yeah, Anthony Perkins is fantastic in this, playing this character like a Billy Light character, you know. He's really into it, like, you know, it's all this secret agent stuff and that, you know, and the girl, as I say, you know, he really sucks her into it and that, you know. He makes the scenarios very credible and authentic and that, and Tuesday Weld and that, you know, she's really sort of like, she really goes along with him and that, oh, it's a great story, it's great cinematography, it's got a good cast and that, and this is actually based on a novel. It's based on a novel by Stephen Geller. A screenplay written by Lorenzo Semple Jr. It was produced by Marshall Baclaw and Noel Black and directed by Noel Black. It's a fantastic movie, this, guys. Pretty Poison. Looks great on Blu-ray. I've got my new 4K player and TV. Oh, and I'm completely blown away by the picture quality. It's absolutely stunning. I mean, you know, I'm really converted to 4K now, because, you know, not only does it make the 4K movies look good, it upscales these guys to a quite breathtaking extent. So you know, I could never go back to ordinary DVD player now. But getting back to this, guys, this is a fantastic movie. It's got no real special features. It's just got the movie in that. Got a nice slipcover as well. It's got the same artwork and that. And there's your that's your slipcase. So this was one of Anthony Perkins' finest movies. Oh yeah, he's a real, what's the name, character in this. He's a real sort of like real idiosyncratic character and that, and there's one particular scene where he's in the forest and that, you know, and he's sort of like this courting couple in the woods and that, you know, in you know, making out in the car, and the boyfriend spots him in the woods, Anthony Perkins, and he gets out the car. He says, "You're peeping Tom," you know, and of course, like, you know, sort of like some punches are exchanged and that, you know, and oh yeah, it's got some great comedic moments in it as well as some serious moments, and it's got a good twist, guys. The acting's great, the story's great. It's a nice, you know, there's no dark scenes. No dark scenes. And all in all, guys, a great story, great little story, from 1968. Pretty Poison. I love Anthony Perkins. Well, of course, he's most noted for Psycho, Norman Bates, but, you know, he also made some other great movies as well, and this is definitely one of them, Pretty Poison. So if you've never seen Pretty Poison, I highly recommend, you know, that you go out and get yourself a copy. These two, like, the chemistry is fantastic. You know, Tuesday Weld and Anthony Perkins and that, they're a real kind of like a young Bonnie and Clyde, you know. I'd sort of like to equate them with Bonnie and Clyde and that, very entertaining movie, and as I say, like, you know, even a supporting cast, you know, as I say, Anthony Perkins is a boss and that, you know, and then you've got his probation officer, and fantastic movie this, Pretty Poison, and as I say, Tuesday Wales, lovely, you know, she really is attractive, she starred with Elvis in Wild in the Country, Okay, well, that's my review of Pretty Poison, starring Anthony Perkins and Tuesday Weld. If you like a good psychological thriller, I'd highly recommend that you get yourself a copy of this, It's a fantastic movie by Cinema Cult, Okay, guys, well, that's it. That's my review of Pretty Poison. Oh, and on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give Pretty Poison a whopping 10 out of 10, because that's how much I enjoyed it, and I would not part with this movie. I'm definitely keeping it in my collection, Fine acting all round, good cinematography, great story, well directed, all in all, 10 out of 10, Okay, guys, if you've seen Pretty Poison, leave your comments down below. Do you like Anthony Perkins, What's your favourite movie of his, leave your comments down below. Always love to hear from me fellow YouTubers, what they think of movies and that. Love talking about movies, I could talk about movies till the cows come home, and books, of course, Okay, guys, well, enjoy the rest of your Easter, and all going well. I shall talk to you all again, you know, in the near future. Oh yeah, before I go, steer clear of any poison ivy, girls. especially if they've got long blonde hair. See ya.